has been purchased and is currently being stored by the vendor. Setup and implementation have been slowed as Metro is working to finalize a new lease with the Regional Airport Authority for the Cannons Lane in-core monitoring site where PAMs will be located. An additional complication at the Cannons Lane site is that the old vet building, which sits on that site, is currently being used as a first responders COVID-19 testing site. So we will continue to monitor this situation, and as soon as feasible, take delivery and begin installation of the PAMS monitoring station.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. For a quick update on the Cosmos ABO. This is an amended board order which was signed on February 19th, 2020. Without going through all the details for the amended order, in summary, the company agreed to, one, comply with the SO2 monitoring plan and public access control plan, which was approved as part of the 2017 agreed board order, or the company could elect to construct a new kiln stack with an above grade height equal to or greater than 155 feet, but no more than 170 feet in compliance with the requirements as outlined. The company had a March 31st deadline to notify the district. On March 13th, 2020, the company notified the district via registered mail of their intent to construct a new kiln stack. Completion of the new stack as modeled should rectify modeled SO2 decedents which occurred outside of the current SO2 partial non-attainment area. And while we're on the topic of SO2, in a meeting last week with EPA, they indicated that our redesignation request from partial non-attainment to attainment for the SO2 partial non-attainment NAC is in the signature chain at EPA headquarters and should be finalized soon. We don't have a lot of information on this, but this is a quick budget update. The mayor is still scheduled to provide his proposed budget for the next fiscal year on April 23rd. And while fiscal impacts from the pandemic can be expected, there has been no definitive word on what those impacts will be. It is expected that the final approved budget sometime this summer will look much different than the proposal made on the 23rd as the financial impacts from the pandemic response continue. What I want to point out at this time is that I expect APCD to be able to weather any changes and to continue to meet all of our regulatory requirements. Should the financial impacts be of such a nature that changes at any time, I will immediately alert the board. I think Assistant Director Hamilton forwarded a link to an article to the board that I trust all received yesterday. It was a story written by our old friend Jim Bruggers, who now writes for the Inside Climate News. And it was taking a look at some initial research that indicates that significant health impact improvements in Louisville can be connected to the SO2 emission reductions by LG&E, which occurred in 2014-2015. As you know, LG&E converted their Cane Run electric generation unit to gas and added nearly $1 billion of controls to Mill Creek facility. Because a lot of health impacts in our work must be viewed in the long term, it is just nice to see those type of tangible results so quickly. And just, if you hadn't had a chance to read it, based on their numbers, they were looking at about 55% in reduction in pollutants. And by their calculations, that reduced the number of hospital admissions by nearly 400. Lastly, I would again like to commend the entire APCD staff, the APCD board, and all who have participated here today. I am incredibly humbled by your commitment to the important work of this agency. Chairman Hilton, that concludes the director's report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments from any of the board members? Mr. Taylor, I have one question. When was the operational date for the equipment at Cannons Lane? Is that in operational now?
No, we purchased the equipment, but it's still at the vendors, and I think the date was postponed by EPA, the actual implementation date till June of 2021. So we still expect to be able to meet that deadline.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any other questions from any other board members?
If any board members have questions, you need to unmute your mic. I don't see any questions.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, Mr. Talley. The following reports, the air quality data report, the enforcement status report, the access emission report, and the complaint investigation status report were distributed electronically. Are there any questions or comments about the board members? Hearing none. I would just like to just say thanks to everyone who joined this video conference. And I'd just like to acknowledge, I'd like to personally, on behalf of myself, proud of the steps that our Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher and our Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who continue to repeat the importance of no social gathering, because we know of no other way to stop this disease than to stop spreading it. The only way to stop spreading it is stop socializing. Just encourage everyone to take this seriously. Are there any other questions or comments from any other board members?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I lost my internet connection for a while, so I missed about the first 15 minutes. Did we cover the agreed board order with LG&E?
Yes, we did, Dr. Colbert, and I don't see that I think you were offline at the time.
I was offline. Yeah, I lost my internet, but I got it back.
Okay. You have received the enforcement from Mrs. Hamilton? Are you in agreement to adopt that agreed board order with them?
I believe I am, but I do have a question. One question about it. The agreement was that G&E should limit their NOx emissions to 15 tons a day. I believe that was the number.
15 tons per calendar day, right?
Calendar day, yeah, which is quite a lot. And I just wonder what it was before that has prompted this agreement, or how high was it before that?
Dr. Coburn, based on an analysis by the district, there were times where Mill Creek's permitted and allowable NOx emissions were sometimes as high as 18 to 25 tons per day when the area experienced an ozone exceedance. Based on an evaluation by the district, NOx emissions from Mill Creek above 15 tons were identified as one of the drivers of high ozone formation. We did not see a similarly high ozone formation when their emissions were 15 tons or below.
I see. So when it was 18, 25, whatever, they were, I guess they were still in compliance with federal regulations, right? Is that correct?
With federal regulations and their district permit.
And their permit, yeah. So this agreement is just for the ozone.
That's correct.
Okay, I see. Got it. Yeah, well, I would vote in favor of that then.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other questions by board members regarding the enforcement? I know we passed it just to make sure. Hearing none. Thank you, Dr. Colbert. I will now adjourn this regular meeting of the board, and I'd like to thank you for your participation. The next board meeting is Wednesday, May the 20th, 2020 at 10 a.m. And I'd like to thank Andy and Rachel for their help in setting up this tele for this conference. Everyone stay safe, and hopefully we will be able to meet in person in May.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.